Love is Blind Season 4's Jackelina Bonds, who connected with and got engaged to Marshall Glaze in the pods, isn't ready for marriage just yet. The 27-year-old dental assistant decided to take the plunge and try Love is Blind as a way to find a deep, meaningful relationship that had nothing to do with looks. After meeting several men from the Love is Blind Season 4 cast she disliked in the pods, as well as a few she genuinely enjoyed, Jackelina accepted Marshall's proposal and the two met in person, seemingly hitting it off. Their relationship quickly became more difficult when physical presence was factored into the equation. While Jackelina said she felt strongly for Marshall, it was clear that something wasn't clicking for at least half of the couple. Jackelina and Marshall's Love is Blind relationship has evolved quickly throughout the first several episodes of the show. While it's evident that Marshall wants to make things work, Jackelina doesn't seem so certain. It seems clear that she is not ready to get married just yet, for a variety of reasons. 7 Love is Blind's Jackelina isn't great at listening to her partner's. Jackelina's time in the pods was spent, much like the other contestants, talking to just about everyone to see if there was a deeper connection. While viewers only see a select portion of the incredible Love is Blind Season 4 pod phase, what makes the cut is typically important to each participant's larger story. Jackelina's time in the pods was spent with some difficulty in keeping track of the guys she was talking to, often forgetting their names or mixing up details of the stories others had told her. When it came down to choosing who she would come out of the pods engaged to, if anyone, Jackelina had 2 vastly different men who were vying for her: Marshall, who had prioritized listening to her, and Josh Demas, who had talked a lot about himself. Jackelina loves being the center of attention, which Marshall always ensured she was to him. However, choosing someone that listens didn't mean that Jackelina could reciprocate for someone else, a fundamental piece to any successful relationship. Her lack of ability to listen to her partners and truly hear what they're saying makes it clear she isn't ready for a serious relationship, let alone marriage. 6 Love is Blind's Jackelina isn't interested in making a commitment during Jackelina's time in the pods. She found herself down to 2 men vying for her affections: Marshall and Josh. The men were so different. Marshall gave off self-assured, mature energy and only invested his time in Jackelina, while Josh seemed to be playing the field and a bit immature in his relationships. Jackelina felt a kinship with Josh, while Marshall was the opposite of anyone she'd ever talked to before. The men came to a standoff in their living quarters after Jackelina told Marshall she was conflicted between the two of them. However, Marshall ensured that both Josh and Jackelina knew he was there for her and only her. Jackelina had a difficult time choosing between the men, crying over it several times. Though she felt like her eventual choice of Marshall was the right one, it was hard to see her be so averse to committing on a show that pushes its participants to get married in just 2 months. Jackelina felt as though Marshall was whom she should want, explaining, "He's gonna help me grow. He is emotionally available. He's able to handle my spiciness, my attitude." Her choice, being more aspiration than realistic, proves she is not necessarily ready for commitment even if that's what she feels she wants. 5 Love is Blind's Jackelina has an overall indecisive nature in choosing between Marshall and Josh. Jackelina had a hard time figuring out who would be a good fit for her. Though that doesn't seem like a red flag when it comes to Love is Blind, Jackelina has shown some other moments of being indecisive throughout the season. From wanting Marshall's comfort to not wanting it, and jumping from friend group to friend group during the group vacation, it is clear that Jackelina has a hard time deciding what she wants. Even in her relationship with Marshall, she's shown that she isn't exactly sure where she stands, while he is often putting all his thoughts and feelings on the table. For Love is Blind's Jackelina cares about what people think. Jackelina seems to care a lot about the outside perspective of both herself and her relationship, which makes it seem like she may not be ready for a serious relationship. Once she finally met Marshall face to face, she seemed put off by his nature and appearance, citing that others may think or feel negatively about him. Though Jackelina is blaming the opinions of others, citing them as the foundation for her overall hesitation with her relationship, if she truly cared for Marshall, the only opinions that would matter would be his and her own. Her need for validation outside her relationship is an overall sign of immaturity. 3. Love is Blind's Jackelina craves drama in her relationships. Though some of the circumstances Jackelina was dealing with were difficult during her Love is Blind experience, the desire she had to make things harder for herself and Marshall shows that she craves drama in her life. This may not be Jackelina's fault, as it seems her family situation was not the greatest emotionally. Therefore, she may not realize she is craving drama or creating problems unnecessarily. Still, it is clear from the fact that she sometimes refused to talk to Marshall about their issues, or pushed him into fights he didn't feel the need to have, that her desire to live in a sense of chaos was strong. 2. Love is Blind's Jackelina can come off secretive while Jackelina's personal experiences are allowed to be private. The Love is Blind cameras captured her breaking down or struggling to talk about things several times without much explanation. Jackelina has since cleared up some of her emotions, explaining her circumstances to EU, saying that she was dealing with a lot at the time Love is Blind Season 4 was filming. She shared, "I have a lot of family stuff that I have to tend to, including her father's cancer diagnosis. While her struggles are her own and she is welcome to keep them private from the public, it seemed as though she didn't trust Marshall with her secrets, either." 1. Love is Blind's Jackelina isn't communicative in relationships. Jackelina's lack of trust in Marshall, generally indecisive nature, and overall care for what others think of her relationship led her to a lack of communication with Marshall. It seemed that Jackelina had a tough time sharing openly with Marshall, especially in moments when she felt hurt or judged. This lack of trust in her partner quickly created a distance between the two that Marshall clearly wants to bridge. Jackelina's lack of communication makes it obvious that she is not prepared for a serious relationship or a marriage like the ones that Love is Blind typically offer. Source: EU. Jackelina Bonds. Instagram. 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 Jackelina Bonds. Instagram.